We out here.
Hi, my name is Carlos. I travel, I tattoo, and I take it all in. One country at a time, one tattoo at a time. Travel is what inspires me. Tattooing is what guides me. This is how I interpret the world. This is the global.
What is happening? Cadet, are you getting wicked, double audio playing right now? How about now? Is anything better? Oh, that's what it is. Got it. Killer. What's up, dude? Okay, yeah, so I had a browser open in the background. I didn't realize it. That had a copy of the stream going, so I was getting double audio, and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I sure hope I don't have to restart the stream because we just went through all this trouble. Just make sure my stuff's over here. Cool. How's it going? Doing good? Algebro, what's up? Got Cadet and Algebro, the tag team, the gruesome twosome. Thanks for popping in, guys. Obviously, love to see you. You make this whole thing fun to do. We don't have anybody else in the chat right now, but feel free to jump in chat. Anybody else, if you do swing by, we had a huge increase in subscribers this week, and I don't know how, but here we are. But we went from 5 days ago, having 200 subscribers, which is nuts. My kid made a video and everything and posted on our channel. And then the last I checked this afternoon, we had over 2,300 subscribers to our channel. I don't know what's going on, but this is insane. It's like the dream is happening. So, thank you for coming along for the ride. Algebro, Cadet, anybody else? Are you ready for me to destroy this painting? We've been working on this for 17 hours now, I would say. And today is a huge moment in this painting where we're going to shadow glaze the entire piece, and we're going to change the time of day on this painting. That's today's efforts. So what we're going to do is we're going to dust over the entire thing. It's all dry to the touch, see? No problem. We're gonna go over the entire thing with a really mixed out raw umber / liquid mixture that's gonna be pretty transparent, and we'll put that over the whole thing. And we're gonna basically, the future goal for this painting starting right now in this moment is to make this a nighttime scene instead of a daytime afternoon scene. So we're gonna turn the lights down today, so to speak, and then we're gonna remove some glaze area where some neon lights are gonna be showing, and where some of the glow will be affecting other parts of the painting. So it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna look insane, and I'm excited to do this in front of people. So without further ado, let's start playing around here. How was everybody's week? You guys have a good week? I had a great week. This is just straight raw umber. Poured out in this little pile right here. And then I got a big old pile of liquid over here. And I might actually, I might mix it up directly over here in this pile. Let's see. I'm gonna take a big old hunk of this. We're gonna mix up a nice glaze. The idea is we want to make a transparent version of this tone which will be our shadow tone, and we're going to shadow the entire painting with it. Now, what's the proper mixture? How much liquid to oil paint? I don't know, and we're about to find out together as a team. Because as I've let you guys know already, it's been many years since I've done this process, since I've done oil painting in general, so I'm going to try to remember how to get back into it. I have a piece of paper towel here and my paintbrush, and we already loaded it up with pigment. Now I'm just going to brush most of it off here. So there's still some on it. This will give me, there's an effect you can do in painting called dry brushing, which is a similar thing to what I'm doing right here, right now. But this will give me a chance to go in and start dropping glaze slowly and gently to see if I'm really about to destroy this whole thing or not. Pretty boring week for me, been getting back into the habit of drawing every day again though. Awesome! Art for the win. I have been looking forward to this stream, to this part of this painting process the whole week, but I had to wait for last stream's paint to dry. Because if I'm smudging over the entire painting today, I can't really start pushing around wet white paint. So, cool. Welcome, cadet. Fly high above. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Watch this. Oh no, what am I doing? This is terrible. We spent so much time working on this. And now you're gonna do me like this? Alright, enough of that silliness. So this is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna put on a toned glaze, and we're essentially gonna glaze over the entire painting and make it darker and more nighttime-like. Yeah. This is wild. This is an insane feeling right now. To have put this much work onto this painting and then just go right over it like I'm spilling coffee on everything. One of the parts of what this glaze will do is going to unify a lot of the colors and a lot of the shadows because they're all going to be toned similar now. Because we have this transparent layer going over what we already have painted. So now a lot of these colors are going to average out. I know, dude, isn't this crazy? This is a very insane behavior I'm expressing right now. But I've been staring at this and wondering what else can I do to make it interesting to me. We abandoned the reference many streams ago, so now it's like, what do we do? Where do we take this? And again, the best I could come up with was, well, let's change it to nighttime, because if it's nighttime, I get to do a whole lot of glowy light effects, and that's something that I'm very interested in exploring. So let's go ahead and destroy everything we got and start from a different time of day. Not gonna lie, this is already feeling really nerve-wracking. But such is the process. I'm gonna have to get some more liquid out. Grab some more liquid. What if on episode 18 we destroyed the entire project and had to abandon it, move on to something else? That would be pretty bananas. Especially now that we had this boom in subscribers. People are going to start following along and be like, wait, what? What do you mean? So once we glaze over the whole thing and give it a tone, then we can start lifting and buffing it out and whatnot. And that'll give us the opportunity to direct some light, to move some light, to make room for some light. Alright, looks like that's pretty much the entire painting right there. Whew, it looks like I just put a filter on it, which I mean I did in a very low-tech way. Yeah, good moods today, good moods. All right. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a t-shirt, old white t-shirt, lint-free t-shirt, and I'm gonna start wiping off what we just put on and see what kind of movement we can get, what kind of interplay with adding and removing glaze. So much more yellow on stream than it does in my studio. In my studio, it's like a tame orangey type tone. Okay, I'm also going to now use a small mop blender, and we're going to just kind of smooth out some of these strokes. I don't know if this is an exciting or super boring stream that we're going to have today because of what we're doing. Man, I cannot wait to show you what I have in my head as far as what to do with the lights and stuff. This is very exciting. Oh, you know what? I should use a larger fan brush for this. That'll go a little bit quicker. Get one of these guys. Cross-hatching so I can minimize the amount of strokes we see peeking through. I mean, 2 hairs and some air, real lightweight. Maybe I can pull some of this in the direction of perspective, because that does help a little bit with seeing some movement. It's so wild how, looking at my stream right now, on my stream preview, how insane and yellow this is. Oh, let's see. You guys are dope. Okay. So we got a little bit of a deeper, darker tone here. I think I want to go even darker though. I wonder if I can pull that off right now with how wet it is. Let's find out as a team. Because here, let me give you a little preview of what my plan is here. The idea is we're going to put this glaze down, and then we're going to use some Q-tips. And we're going to pick it back off. And select areas to give it a glow effect of where our light sources are going to be going. So, having said that, darken that for right now. Having said that, I want to see how dark we can get away with, because like I said, I want it to be more of a night scene. And right now it looks less like a night scene and more like there's a storm brewing and it turned the sky yellow-green. You know how that works? So let's mix a little bit darker. Also, if I want to neutralize this glaze, I really don't want to mess with that now. I'm just going to use straight raw umber, just in different levels of quantity, if that makes sense. Back to this big mop brush. Oh yeah, there we go. I can literally mop. Duh. Think that it looks cool? Yeah, it's pretty wild how this technique works. When I would do my like really big hyper-realistic portraits, I would do this glazing in a sense. Not like this though, but in a sense. Oh man, am I on low battery already? Shnikes. Okay. I will make a call to the other room to get a charger. Pardon the interruption. Alright, call's been made. One of two things is going to happen. Either we're going to knock on the door and I'm going to plug in my computer and make sure we don't lose our stream, or we're going to cut off abruptly and have to catch up another time. How do you like that? Okay. Dropping this on, softening up, and removing is the name of the game. When I stopped talking earlier and I said, no, I'm not going to do that, I'm just going to use straight raw umber, what I was going to say is maybe I should, because it's more warm, I should like neutralize it a little bit by mixing with like some violet to cool it off. But I don't know the transparent effects of that violet gray, and I know the transparent effects of this umber. So, having said that, I'm going to stick with this plan of just mopping on and wiping off. Panels bouncing all over the place today. I have not been keeping up with the new South Park season. I heard that it like got abruptly like not cut by the network. I doubt it, but probably Trey and Matt were like, something happened in their lives and they were like, you know what, we can't do this right now. But I don't know exactly what that would be. I did watch the first episode, the beginning of the Trump Satan arc, and I'm excited to see where they take that, where that goes. But yeah, like I was saying before I got the notification that my computer's running out of battery, was on my larger hyperrealist paintings, I do this on a micro scale, like in lower eyelid or the side of a nose or something will get pushed back with some glaze. But a full-on painting like this, not something that I'm used to doing. So it's exciting. Because this whole process is a bunch of what if. Right? Okay. Once I get this stuff buffed out, we're going to start lifting and creating directions of light and areas for light to move around. I already have a plan in my head. I want a spot lamp here, coming this way. I want neon lights in the window of the bar, as you would have in a bar. And I think that's going to be it for my directions of light. Some neons coming this way and a spot lamp coming this way, but the spot lamp coming this way is really going to illuminate our stuff that we have over here. I'll show you in a second here what my plans are for our ballerina. Okay. Let us start lifting, shall we? Okay, so I'm going, because I have a light coming here and a light coming here, we will have to lift where the light will hit our ballerina on both of those spots, right? So the belly's gonna get some. This foot will most likely get lit from this direction. This foot back here for sure is gonna get lit from this direction. It's almost like just the skin tones for sure, right? We're gonna want a lot of this to be lifted off from that light hitting that way. Fingers are gonna get a good amount of light. One from the spot lamp coming over here. And just a little bit of edge lighting on the side of the palm from the neon lights on the other side. yet to receive my notification that I have a charger about to be delivered. So I'm going to finish lifting the lights off of our ballerina, and then I'll put us into a 1-minute intermission while I go grab a charger. Sound good? Will you stick around for 1 minute if I go grab a charger? I'd like to think the answer is yes. Oh yeah, her hair is definitely going to pick up some light too, so. Honestly, it's like most of our ballerina is going to be somewhat lit, so we can remove a lot of tone that just isn't that, you know what I mean? I think also when I come back, I'll try to change the lighting on the stream a little bit so it looks a little bit less orangey for you guys. This is fun, man. Big, bold moves. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the glaze off the legs here. And definitely picking up some off the shirt because it's gonna capture a lot of light. Because this sports bra material and leggings are like, even though it's black, it's got that kind of reflectiveness to it. Reflectiveness, interesting. So that'll definitely have some effect. Okay, I'm gonna throw us into intermission for just one quick minute, and then I'm gonna run and grab my charger so that we can continue to have a stream and not go dark on each other. So give me 1 second, and I'll run and grab that. All right, cool. Sit tight. Crisis averted. Thanks, Cadet. It's been cool creating this painting over the last few weeks. I find showing this process off to be exciting because this is normally like the work of the artist behind closed doors, so to speak. And being able to do this in front of people, pretty fun. Being able to field questions, even though it would be more like hang out than do Q&A stuff, it's been fun. So let's keep doing it, yeah? All right, now that we're back, let's start lifting some area for the spotlight. So I'm gonna have it by the door, like it's a little porch light, if you will, even though it's not a porch. Let me slide in so you can see the edge of my panel here. Just so you know that we're not sitting on some weird filter. Like if I move my panel here, we're just in a fully lit room, baby. This is just what our painting looks like now. Looks like it's been in a smoker's house for 12 years. All right. Do I have scissors in here? No, but I do have a box cutter. I'm gonna just cut a piece of this shirt off because I don't want to have to hold the whole thing and potentially drop it or anything like that. You're about to watch me cut my hand off accidentally on a live stream. Sweet. Okay. Now I have a nice handheld piece of t-shirt. T-shirt. So I want this light to be lighting up an area here. See that? And then over here, we're gonna have a light in the window. So that's gonna lift some of this. We'll have a light, like an open sign, over here. So we're gonna lift a little bit of that. The glow is going to illuminate the underside of here. So we'll lift that a little bit. That ledge, we'll lift that. And it's fun. It's kind of, we're like literally just dialing in where some light is going to be. I still am not too keen on how orange this looks. Let me adjust my filter here for you guys. You can tell me if you feel the same. Let's see. It does still kind of have like a storm is a brewing look to it, and I don't know if that's what I want or not, but let's keep playing around, see how we feel. So I need to soften up the edges on this spot lamp so it doesn't look like just a hard triangle here. That's gonna open up that, and we'll get a little bit of that's awesome. I have no idea who you guys are by actual names. Don't dox yourself or anything like that. But the fact that you have that song must mean something, because that is a song on a not unreleased album, right? Or maybe it's just a digital release. I think it's just a digital release. I wonder if I remember the lyrics. Okay, so to bring in other people into the inside reference of what's going on here. So I did a hip hop project many years ago called Drama Deus. I actually, unfortunately, my hair is growing back right now. I can't show you, but I got the logo tattooed on the back of my head years after I was even performing the material, just kind of as like a little nod to the project. But I did a project called Drama Deus Hip Hop Project, and there's a song called Screamo T-shirt. And if you remember from the early 2000s, Screamo bands, they had like splattery logos all over their shirts. And the lyric was something to the effect of, I'll get you more messy than a Screamo T-shirt. And then in the hook, it had a whole bunch of bands named in the hook but they were all band names, right? So the hook was like, I'm on a skylit drive in early November. I can't escape the fate. This is a day to remember, like that type of thing. It's on some music site somewhere, and probably also Soulseek. I don't know what Soulseek is. What is Soulseek? Oh, cool. Party cake at ballet. Awesome. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So, like I was saying earlier, I don't know how I feel about this tone for the overall glaze, so maybe we should lift it all and drop another one. Or maybe we should just go a little bit darker on this. Let's see. Let me lift it a little back here and see if that changes my mood. No, that doesn't do much. All right. I will lift all of this and we will try a round two. Give me a quick second to hold this right here and just going to scrape it off like this. And what we'll do is we'll just mix up a glaze that's similarly dark, but something that feels a little bit more neutral. Like I could, man, I don't know, man. If I glaze with like black, it will ruin like the value structure of everything, but I do kind of need it to be neutral. I don't think glazing with lamp black is a really good idea, so. I will say though, by putting this down, I'll show you, I wiped most of it off, it did kind of pull some of the tones together, which is interesting, but in a way of, you know, not necessarily what we were shooting for, so. Okay, got that all wiped off, let's do it again. Let's do it one more again. Okay, let that chill. Listening to the chorus for the first time, start recognizing band names, and I had to rewind. If I free associate and not think about it, I might be able to do the whole thing. So let me see if I can remember. I haven't thought of this in 12 years at least. But I think it was, I'm on a skylit drive in early November. I can't escape the fate. This is a day to remember. They told me protest the hero, so I picket the president. I set the kill as I lay dying. It's evident that my chemical romance will go up in flames. I can't remember the rest of it. Very silly song. I preferred Salsa H, honestly, on that album. There aren't many jams that I go back to now that I'm removed from the project and I don't think about it and I don't, you know, really connect with the material anymore. But Salsa H is one that I really liked. I don't know if you remember that one. Salsa H was like about selling H, right? But it was to the tone of I just wanna celebrate. But the hook was I just wanna sell some H. It was about how I wanted to get rich selling narcotics. I don't want to say too loud on this stream. I don't want to get shadow banned. Okay, so let's mix up. Oh, sorry. I'm going to mute my mic for just a second because I got to move it and I don't want it to sound like explosions in your ears. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's I don't know, man. It's just there's something about the silliness of it, and also I was at that time I was no longer straight edge, but coming up straight edge and then having a song about making drug money was pretty ironic as far as I was concerned. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pick a section. We'll just use this bottom corner here behind chat, and there, I'll scoot out of the way a little bit, and we'll mix up a new glaze with the raw umber with the lamp black and see if we can get a better neutralized glaze that'll feel darker, more like a night scene. It might behoove me to use something cool, like to use the violet gray in there, but let's all mix it up and see what happens. I'm gonna grab a palette knife for this. Palette knife to mix with so I don't have to mess up my brush like crazy. And let's see what we can do. So I'm going to use it in the same spot here that I was mixing earlier. I guess you could shadow glaze with lamp black. I don't know. Either way though, after this layer of what we do tonight, like creating the night sky, the night scene, after this sets up, then we're going to be going back over this with brighter tones to make all these neon lights happen. So really what we're doing today, we're going to leave it kind of an ugly stage, but we'll be able to come back and have an amazing adventure, constantly brightening things up and bringing it back to a vibrant painting. So, okay, let's play with this little corner here. I feel like my lighting isn't rich enough. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I want to fix the color correction in here. Make sure I got it right. There we go. Better? Yeah, that's more realistic. Okay, cool. Do I have another brush I use for glazing? Ooh, I got a big old fat boy. But I should test it in the corner first. So, I'll pick it up with this big brush I can use for glazing here. And pull some black in the corner and just kind of brush it out and see how that looks. If it's too warm, then we try to cool it off. If it looks just right, then it will look just right. Let's see. That is not too warm. That is way more of what I was looking for. So let's just do that. I expected a lot of back and forth trying to figure out the right mixture here, but I think that might just work like that. Yes, this is way more the tone I had in my head. Now the trick is going to be, can I blend it all out and get rid of all these brush strokes so it doesn't look ridiculous. That's Fire the Rat. F-I-R-E. Dedicated to my homie Tyre, who is no longer with us on this stream, but he's still alive and he's doing great. Don't you love it when people mislead you with the most ridiculous, scary things? Look at this. What a ridiculous thing to do to a painting that we spent all that time working on as a team. But I promise you, when it comes time to lift this up and to make like a nice, cool, not cool, but you know what I mean, nice glazed painting with a bunch of bright lights, it'll all make sense. All right. Now, grab a big soft brush. Should I do another fan brush? Let's do another fan brush. Let's open a brand new fan brush. Rah. Sick. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And just for the record, I did not add any purple to this. I just used lamp black and the raw umber. I want a nice even spread. I'm doing like these X brush strokes, these X back and forth X brush strokes to try to hide as many of the strokes as possible. There's a lot of liquid in this, so it's really sticky. So we're gonna get a lot more streakiness and strokes, strokiness, than I really want. But that's okay, because again, we're going to be going over this with more paint, more pigment on the next stream. And hopefully, by covering this whole thing in liquid today, it gives us a good opportunity to jump in sooner, because this is a fast drying agent, right? So maybe I won't have to wait so many days this time to get back to our streams. This has been so fun doing all this streaming stuff. Originally when we created the channel, it was just supposed to be for travel videos, and now this has been like, excuse me, the thing I've been looking forward to the most. Very cool. So, paintings recently for class and born this stuff. I was literally petrified. Thank you.
Okay, let's just do this for right now. This is the built-in microphone on the computer. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where I left off on what I was describing, but basically we have a spot lamp coming here, and we're gonna have some glow here. I pick up a good amount of the light from in here because it's in the interior of a bar, right? So it's going to be lit. I'm gonna wait. It says that you're saying it's still broken. I'm gonna wait because there we go. There's always a delay on there. Okay. So yeah, if the bar has lights, it's gonna glow interior coming out. Plus we're gonna have some neons over here, so I'm gonna pick up a decent amount of this just because I know that the neons are gonna light up the surrounding area a little bit. All that glazing, all the glazing and wiping and glazing and wiping and glazing and wiping pulled off some of our paint from last session, so we're gonna have to touch that up. So see, all throughout there, kind of yanked up some of that, but that's all right. Okay, so that's that. I know for a fact I want to have a little bit of shine coming up here. So we'll lift there. And then, yeah, we can do that for right now. And let's start softening up these glazes. Just going light pressure, just kind of dabbing it in. I really need like the world's softest brush. I need a fat makeup brush is what I need, and I don't think I have one of those on me right now. What would I do without this chat? I know what I would do. I'd be producing hour-long episodes that nobody could hear me narrate. And I'm sorry, I know you're a little lifted right now. I didn't mean to make you think like you couldn't hear me anymore. Like that stuff. I don't know if you can even tell what I'm doing, but I'm using just a real light touch. Like look down here in this corner right here. Just a real light touch to obliterate the brush strokiness that's there. I'm excited to have this spot lamp here shining down this way because I already had a cool little drop shadow underneath these packages here. So that makes me happy. And what else? Let's see. I can use a smaller liner type brush with just straight liquid to like pick up like really tight specific spots. So like watch this. Like I'll come in here with these fingers. Just kind of wipe away that new glaze that's in there. We got our thumb back here. Top knuckles here. And then I'll just use a Q-tip to grab the rest of that. Cool. We good. Awesome. So we got the light back there. Down here, should do a similar thing so I can get this ankle and these reflective ballet flats nice and bright with our shine. Yeah. Liking it. And I need to soften the transition between where the light hits and where it comes over this way, which again, I have another cast shadow underneath this foot already, so that's pretty rad, because it's showing that direction of light coming. The decision to put this light here, I made that way after having put that original shadow down. And when I put that original shadow down coming this way, even though the light direction of light was on top at first, I was like, it doesn't make much sense, but I kind of like it in that shape for the painting, so I'll break the rules for, the painting. Now, I have a reason to have that shadow there. It makes me happy. Just gonna blow out this area a little bit more. Just to soften that light. Make it look a lot more spotlight-like, right? You see the effect, right? It's working. Nice. Dude, I wish I could just start putting in neon lights right now, but I really have to let this layer of liquid set up. I do want to see, I don't think I have like a big fat makeup brush, something that light. But I would love to blow out this glaze a little bit smoother. Thing is, if I wasn't doing this on stream, and if I wasn't trying to go for like a super dramatic moment on a video, I would have taken a tiny little brush with just a little bit of the shadow glaze and just softly built up area by area instead of just swapping it down. But I want to make it cool for you guys. I know. I have to be a patient boy. Okay, so what else we gotta do? We're going to lift a couple tones off of her here, just to make sure that we got full reflectiveness there. Oh yeah, I want to dial in right around here because I made her thumb like a gigantic mess because some of it's glazed, some of it isn't, that whole thing. So find a nice round brush for my last session. And I'm just going to load up the same shadow glaze that I have already and just carve in around that hand. Nice. Now it's starting to jump off the painting, huh? So, I'm so impatient. I mean, I feel like I am every single session. Like, I end every session with like, all right, and then one more little stroke here, and then I'm like, I hate that, absolutely hate that. Why did I do that? All right, now I gotta fix that. It is what it is. Thing about oils, though, is like you can keep going back. You can keep adjusting, It's not over just because... No good. It's not over just because you finished for the night. You know what I mean? You might just come back and adjust it some more. I feel like any of these other areas that are kind of like unblended and jumping out, we'll just play with it later with subsequent layers of glaze, or maybe with some of the glowy lights, or maybe some other elements. Honestly, I would like to see like maybe some electric cables running through here, maybe like a line of laundry coming across, maybe somebody tossed some shoes over there or something. I don't know. I'm stuck in the 1990s, so I still think of things in those terms, like somebody threw shoes over a wire. Removing a little bit of glaze just in that direction, so you can see that glow coming from the window on the door. And it makes me rage like crazy. So your patience and calmness is well, that's from tattooing. Wait for the chat to catch up on the stream here. There we go. That's from tattooing. Tattooing teaches you patience, right? You can't rush it. It's not going to work. So whether I like it or not, shucks, I have to take my time and do it the right way. And also, that is not a commercial saying you should learn how to tattoo. Even if you want to learn how to tattoo, find another trade. This one is not feeling so good. Not for me, I'm having a blast tattooing. I'm just saying in general, the industry is in a funky place. I just spent, the summer traveling the world interviewing people, talking about tattoos, and I got so much information that was shockingly confronting about things. Like, I didn't know that the majority of tattooers don't have apprenticeships anymore. The vast majority of tattooers are learning on YouTube. It's nuts. And if apprenticeships are abusive, which mine was, and it just kind of happens that way, that apprenticeships get abusive, or at least they used to be, because that's the stupid part of the tattoo industry where we came from. If that means people get to get into the industry and enjoy their craft without being abused, okay, I mean, that's great. That's a victory. But holy smokes. Learning on YouTube, that's gotta be the worst way to pick up tattooing. But, this is a phrase I've been thinking about all day today. The industry that I came up in is over. That's gone. It's been replaced. Nothing we can do about it. Nothing I really want to do about it. I don't want to be like the ambassador for keeping things the same. I do like progressing over time and, learning and developing and changing. But the idea of no apprenticeship scares the heck out of me. And that could be, unfortunately, where some of these new legislative encroachments into tattooing are coming from. Because we have a lot of laws being passed right now by people who don't really have any idea on what tattooing is and how it's supposed to work. Making and passing laws that affect us without tattooers' input. And it could be to battle, I doubt it, but it could be to battle some of what's going on in the modern age of tattooing, the one that I don't. I was gonna say belong to. I definitely still belong. I don't think that I don't belong, but you know what I mean? Like, I came up in a different era with different rules, and those rules are gone. So maybe they're being replaced with people in the courts. I don't know what I'm rambling now. I'd rather just paint. Oh, this is getting exciting. It's pretty exciting. Couldn't tattoo. Ticks when I'm nervous. You know what's funny? I don't get tics or shaky or anything when I'm tattooing people, but when I get my hair cut, when they go to like line up this part with like zzz, zzz, all that stuff, I start twitching. I don't know why. I need to sharpen up something that's going on over here. There's like a little bit of like a wobble. So let me, again, grab my shadow glaze, jump in and clean that up. Cadet, how late do you guys want to go for tonight? I don't know why I'm making you the lead. I think it's just because you're floating. But should we wrap it up because we're nearing an hour, or should we keep painting? Put it on you, my friend. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Here I go again, making big decisions at the end of the stream, leaving myself in a place where I'm unhappy. all night, as could I. I do have adult responsibilities today too, so I have to get to those. Let's just, we'll be done when we're done, right? Let's dial in this glaze layer, because once it's dry, and I can't take it off or make it go anywhere else. So let's just keep working with that. I feel like we're in a pretty dark alleyway right now, right? Maybe. Pull some reflections. Maybe we can make the ground a little wet. How about we do that? We'll make the ground wet. So to make the ground wet, we want to pull reflections straight down. I know how to do straight lines. Don't get tattooed by me. I have no idea what I'm doing. That's a joke. All right. Yeah. Blender. Got it. But yeah, I can lift a little bit of the, using that liquid brush, just lift a little bit up of this glaze. Later on, when we figure out what lights are going to shine where, it'll be nice to just have a little bit of vertical light here. Yeah, too much. I don't like it. Let's go back in. Let's go back in. Anyway, I have ADHD and I got lost with what we were talking about earlier. But one of the things is like what I'm doing right now that I was mentioning is with oil painting, you can just go back and fix stuff. Like it's got like some plasticity to the process, you know. Push, pull, tune, tune, tune. I can feel tackiness already taking place. Not in my presentation tackiness, but the tackiness on the surface of the panel here. So I'm gonna let those sleeping dogs lie right now. And play more with the reflectioniness down there. It's wild. Again, if I remove this panel, this is the room, right? Here's the panel, here's my hand. So everything that looks like it's just like a dark filter that we threw on the stream is just straight up painted at this point. So now I'm excited about this. We have a nighttime scene coming together. I can go a little bit darker up here and bring that down, but I'm gonna wait for this layer to set up. Right now I'm just trying to lift some of the brush strokes, the horizontal strokes out by going vertical, up, down, 2 hairs and some air, real light touch. Just blow out some of those strokes. And again, any of the little artifacts that might hang out, we'll just find something to toss over it. Put in a couple more things. Oh, you know what else I can do on our stream tonight? I can put in the actual lamp right here. Let's do that. Let's paint ourselves a lamp. Take a few minutes, but we got time. We'll call it after that. How's that sound? Time to paint a lamp with Carlos K. Saint Carlos, the patron saint of oil paint. All right. Let me get a new round here. Not new, but one that isn't in use already. And okay, so I'm gonna have this light have like a black, similar to how her pants are, like a satiny metal case around it, and then coolish light coming out of it. Sound good? Sound good. Okay. So let's toss this up here. And that's where we're going to put a lamp. Done. Okay, of course. How's the microphone audio? Because I'm using a different mic than I normally do. Because something's happened with my mic earlier, I turned off my actual streaming room mic, and now I'm just using the one on the laptop.
Sound off. What is happening? Okay, sweet. Sounds good. Then I'll just start using this one while we stream until I figure out what's going on with this other guy. Alright, so I put down some initial brush strokes. Now I'm going to tighten it up. It's going to have like a little bit of a conical shape. So I don't need it to be like this weird round bubbly shape that we got going on here. So straight it out right there. Then I'll put my light bulb inside there. Also, I would like to do an effect. I'm going to think this through with you before I try to commit it to the canvas. But I want to do an effect where you can see a little bit of illumination coming through the outside of that sconce, of that shell for the light. So how should I do that? It should be a little warm, so a little bit redder maybe, and then darker on the sides, or should it be, yeah, that makes sense, okay. And then also it's going to have a pitch black shadow directly behind it where it attaches to the wall, because all that light coming thrown off from there, it's going to put a really harsh edge. So let me try to sharpen up the back of that for right now. It will need like some kind of plaque that it's on, like a backing plate, so we'll sneak that underneath there. But first I want to take care of the sconce, and then we'll do the rest of that junk. So let's do that. Let's put the warmth coming from inside of the bulb. I'm gonna use this it's my red lake oxide, I think. Yeah. It's a transparent paint, so I can't really drop this on top of the black and expect it to brighten up what's going on, because the black's just going to show through. So I'm going to mix transparent red lake oxide with alizarin crimson. And drop a little bit of it. I want to move my lamps here so you guys can really see what I'm doing. Is that better? Look how shiny my canvas is. Yeah. Anyway, man, it's so trippy. It's so trippy how dark this panel is now with this glaze effect. All right, get over yourself, Carlos. So I'm gonna put a little bit of warmth coming through here, the area closest to the bulb. And it's not gonna be much. Whatever, I'll stop apologizing, let's just paint. Okay, yay lights, right? Blend the black back down into the red. I've been talking to all my friends at Tattoo Studio about like how the streams are going and everything, and the comment I've been getting the most from tattooers is like, man, I would love to do it. I just can't imagine talking through it the whole time. And like, I think that's the only way I can do this. If I was sitting here silent, I want to jump off a bridge. Okay, so now it's got a little bit of warmth to it, right? Hopefully it shows up on the stream. I think it does. And we are going to sneak in underneath here now with a brighter color. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, I got this yellow ochre here, and I got this off-white up here. Mix up a little halfway between the two. So I have a nice warm yellowy white. Let's see if I can mall stick this. this. I'm going to toss that in the middle. I'll put some bright white. Thank you. Oh, wait for it. So I get to see your response on my software before it pops up on the stream, but now it's on the stream, so I will laugh now. Ha ha ha. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do feel like I have a lot to talk about. I have so much to offer the world. So I put those 2 dots there for like the warmer sides of this light bulb, and I'm going to put a more white dot in the middle, and that'll give us some brightness. Right on. Look how bright that lamp looks all of a sudden. Holy smokes. Holy smokes, we have a bright lamp. I would love to blend it better though, so I will. And which brush do I want to use to blend? Let's see, if I have a teeny tiny, yeah, this is fine. I'll use this little bright. Oh, do I have one over here? Yeah, it's better. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do is go in super tight here and just kind of smooth out, because you can see, if I hold this up close to the camera on stream, you can see it's just kind of a few dots creating that light, but I want it to be a smooth, like, dome or spherical shape. And then also it needs to have a little bit of like overshine coming out around the area, which might be better suited for glazing another layer after this layer's dry, but let's see. Let's make mistakes in front of people tonight, huh? That's awesome. I'm really happy with this. At least I was. This is painting, man. This is painting with me. Just back and forth, excited and disappointed, excited and disappointed, excited and disappointed. What I'll do is I'll blur it out, like obliterate it, you know, to give it that kind of overspray, that overshine, if you will, and I'll come back and reinsert that light bulb. That'll make me feel a whole lot better, okay? Sound good? Sound good. Okay, now I have the little bit of glow to that, as you can see, and I'm going to put the bright parts back in. Where's the brush I was using for that? I had like a nice round. And then I dropped one on the floor. Did I drop both of them on the floor? Well, I just don't know what I did with the thing. So let me grab a different brush and play a different tune. I'll find it in a week somewhere. Dried paint. Ruined! And then I said white earlier, but I'm using just this off-white for the center of this light bulb. Hell yeah. Cool. Bright light. Did it? the lamp added a lot. Definitely makes it feel like there's a light on, right? Oh goodness, I'm such a dork. Okay, so now that we have that, this is be better suited for a magnifying glass, but I'm gonna get this sconce shape a little bit smoother. Yeah, I feel good about that. So I need to put a little backing plate, not much, just something to show that there's this lamp is connected to the wall. So just grab a little bit of dark, maybe from this glaze pile. Can you guys see that? Can't tell if it shows up on stream. Sick. Oh, what else? What else? What else? We can punch up these shadows down here now because the light is brighter, clearly. So the shadows need to be a little bit more dramatic. And now I can use the same shadow glaze that I have pulled out for everything else. And that will give me the opportunity to get these tones a little bit more balanced. Remember like several streams ago when I was talking all about how we can always come in, we can always tune, we can always tune, we can always come back, we can always glaze. Here we are. We are back. We're tuning. We are glazing. Los is getting all quiet. Dead air, dead air, dead air. I can't remember what the joke was, but there's something, I've been saying it all day, trying to like vocalize it and remember where the joke came from and what it is. But there's a joke, I think I heard Eric Andre say something about how there's this girl in their city that they would feed LSD to. And then right when it starts to click in, they'd get right in her face and go, nightmare, 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 nightmare. Shadow blaze, shadow blaze. Why the Amazon packages? Right? Why did I put these here? Anybody know? Anybody guess the analogous reasoning for this? Like, everything in a painting is allegorical, right? So what was I trying to say with these Amazon packages? They were just chilling by the door. I know. I'm not going to tell you, but I know. Nightmare, 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 nightmare. It's so funny. I think it was Eric Andre. It sounds like something he would say. And it also sounds like it would have been from the Eric Andre show and not from his live performances. Some shadows. I'm gonna reposition my lamp so hopefully it's not as glossy anymore. Because honestly, that's like when I dial in the lighting before we start the stream, I always want it to be where you can see the panel, you can see everything that's going on, but you're not getting any reflections. And there's a lot of money I can invest in lighting. I'll do that after we're a profitable enterprise, right?
for right now. Just go like him. There, now you can see a little bit better, not so much specular reflection. It's still wild to me how dark this painting looks next to my hands. I think the lighting effects are going to be one of the strongest things we achieve on this final project. I'm going to give myself 10 more episodes to try to dial this in and finish this painting. And if it takes longer, it takes longer. But I think I want to keep it under 30 episodes, 30 hours. Better shadow underneath that rat tail, underneath Fire Rat. Fire Rat's also going to need a cast shadow over here now. We have a real direction of light, a real lamp casting real shadows. Fire Rat. This cup down here, let's put some reflective spots on that, because now it's in full light and it's a styrofoam cup, so it's going to actually have some specular highlights and reflect the light that's illuminating it. You know real names that should probably be mentioned. It's Craig. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Not that your name is Craig, but that we keep your name a secret. That's totally fine. And also, I've heard that your name is Craig several times on stream. I just forgot. My bad. I'm gonna get you high, Craig. I was on tour with a rapper many years ago named ABK. And I never smoked. And I was like, you're on tour. This is where you learn how to smoke. So we smoked on tour, and it was awesome. And I had the funniest nights of my life. Anyway, at one night, it was like one of the last days of tour, ABK goes, "We gonna get you high, Craig?" And I was like, "Oh my god, my name is Carlos." So I go to his buddy. I was like, "Does he know my name is Carlos?" And he's like, "Of course he knows your name is Carlos." And I was like, "I don't know about all that." I had this weird animosity in my chest about it, and then I realized, like probably 3 years later, like, oh my god, that's a quote from Friday, dork. No, it was purple hash, man. It was some good stuff. I know nothing about that world. I indulged for a while, enjoyed my time, got out amicably. We separated our ways, me and that weed stuff. There's something going on with the geometry of this cup that I'm not super into. It looks more like a fleshlight right now, so I'm gonna have to figure this out. I think the embossed top part of the cup, like where the lid clicks onto, I'm making it look too thick and wide at that point. I think that's my mistake. So let me get rid of this line entirely, and we can move where that point goes up here.
Also, I feel like it's like just a straight tube all the way through, um, instead of getting tapered and wider towards the front. So what would be easiest? To enlarge this opening here or to cut this back? I think cutting that back is going to be easier, so let me do that. So the best way to do that is just mix up the color for the cement and then carve in around it. So let's do that. I will need a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's like a little bit of a cooler tone to it, so we can mix here, knock down the value by using a little bit of black. Yeah, pretty darn close. Let's see on panel if it works. Sure does. Alright, so now I just gotta a good, believable taper. Glorious. I feel much better about that. I do need to put a harder shadow underneath it because two objects are touching each other. And when that happens, you get an occlusion shadow, which is always full black. But I'm not going to do the full black on this painting because I don't want to take away from any of the other values that we got set up. So I'll go close, but not all the way. Noise cup. That's such a good story. That's such a good cup. That's how I feel. Good cup. It's gonna be my new great job, my new GG's. Good cup. Alright, so that's nice. Could light up, we could develop the packages a little bit, but I got some adult responsibilities to get to, so let's do one last thing tonight, and then we'll call it. I'm going to put some reflections on the ankle, the ballerina flat, and this finger here to make it look brighter, like it's being illuminated by this lamp, okay? And like I said, we'll call it after that. Call it an episode. I could really just start the next stream immediately and put it as like episode 19 or whatever. But yeah, we can call it this. Okay. I get so quiet when I do these tight little details. I shouldn't. I should talk all the way through it. If you get all quiet, you're going to start focusing on what you're doing. And if you focus on what you're doing, you're going to start being like, how do I paint? Instead of just painting. You gotta turn the brain off and just let it happen. Thank you, good cup. Good cup! Okay, so now I need to brighten up this ankle, which I should mix up a quick little flesh tone for, to be frank. So let me do that, which is gonna be some yellow, Carlos, come on, man. Come on. Yellow ochre light, alizarin crimson. My Naples yellow looks like it's all dried up, so I'm not gonna use that. A little bit of off-white. A little bit of burnt sienna.
And all I'm trying to do is mix up just a little flesh tone really quick so I can paint it in as a flesh tone rather than just like a dot. Because these dots right here with the straight Naples yellow, the straight warm white, those are called specular reflections. So what the specular reflection is literally you see the light coming back off. So if you think about looking at like somebody's eyeball, there's always that little white dot. Like if you look right up here at my eyeball there, that little white dot, that's, if you zoomed in, you would see the light bulb in the room that's lighting that up, right? Specular reflection. That's not going to happen on the skin here because the skin's not glistening wet, but this is a reflective, silky type material, so that's why it's picked up that light. I maybe overdid it with that, but I can always remove rather than, I can always remove. So anyway, what I want to do here is pick up a flesh tone that's illuminated, right? So it's got to have a little bit more brightness with the direction of light. So that's the medium part of the ankle bone where it comes out, and then I'm going to hit the harder edge around the back side here with a lighter tone. Too light? Is it too light? Might be. Achilles. It's going to be back here. Maybe a little bit on the side of the flesh of the foot. And then we just blend it all in. Blend it all together. All together now. Nice. Sweet! How's that look? First paint progress was made today. I agree. Thank you, Cadet. Always the #1 fan. A little bit of this same because we got the pigment up. Let's just do a little bit of the same on the fingers up here. Closest to the light. Give the thumb, tip of the thumb, a little bright highlight. Back to the fingers as well. From like the first knuckle over. Just like nice. Thank you, Cadet. Oh yeah, looking good, feeling good, liking the progress. I need to stop now while I'm ahead. Thank you so much for watching the stream. Appreciate the feedback, the interest. As always, like, follow, subscribe if you're just kind of popping in and watching what we're doing. We have fun over here. It's a nice escape from all the blah that's happening out there, so come escape with me. Let me know if there's anything else that you'd like to see on this painting, but I'm almost 100% certain we're gonna start throwing in some neon lights in the windows next time. So yeah, until next time, bye.